Hey guys, what is up? Pixels here, and I am bringing you another podcast type rant video. So we're gonna just go over what we first got during the week, which was we got the Kandarian Demon trailer, which was pretty awesome. You can see my trailer breakdown in the description, or I'll put it in one of those card things that you can use on YouTube. I basically go over the trailer and break it down for you guys, what I noticed about it, which was really awesome. I really liked what I seen for the Kandarian Demon. I could potentially be playing that quite a lot because I didn't realize how fun it looked. I love the evil ashes jumping out of the chest and the hand jumping out the chest, giving him the middle finger. Flying around as Henrietta, possibly having the whole transform into the long neck thing from Evil Dead 2 and the show. The Necromancer looked really fun as well, playing as Evil Ash, resurrecting skeletons and things. So, I think in terms of, the problem with Dead by Daylight, I always just draw it a Dead by Daylight because that's what I play every day. And, Evil Dead's going to be literally taking over that for me. I always draw the conclusion at that because that's just what I'm going to be moving on from. So, I think as on the survivor standpoint of Dead by Daylight, it's kind of boring now. You're just doing gens and then, you're probably dealing with a camper with no head or something. Like, that is just the basics of Dead by Daylight now. It's getting really stale. Like, it's as stale as a fucking year-old donut, this game. It hasn't had a solid update in God knows how long. And it's really sad because, I think Dead by Daylight had great potential. And so, obviously, we have some killer footage from the Kandarian Demon footage, from Evil Dead, which we got this week. And like I said, it looks really fun. The reason I don't play Killer on Dead by Daylight, and a lot of people ask me, why do you never stream Killer? Why do you not play Killer? I just find it boring. Just hitting a survivor, chasing them, hitting them again, chasing the next one, being slow, having to hook a survivor while two gens get popped while I'm carrying a survivor to the hook. Like, to me, that's just not a fun experience, And so I just want to go back to Evil Dead now. So what we've seen in Evil Dead, the survivor gameplay looks fucking so fun. It looks really good. Looks well done. It looks very clean and polished. It looks smooth. The frustrating part of Dead by Daylight when you're playing survivor, you get the laggy hits, you get the bullshit, hit through a wall, like, it's just stuff like that. You've got to deal with gen slowdowns. It makes the game play out even longer. Like, it's just boring. Like, it's not fun methods. It's not fun methods to make the game longer. To me, it's, just slowing the game down. People don't want to be sitting on gens longer than they have to. Let's face it, who enjoys sitting there holding one button for a long period of time? And there'll be times where I have to do all 4 gens in a game, So again, I just want to come back to Evil Dead. The survivor gameplay looks great, looks polished, looks smooth. We've got these fucking bloody gory executions that just look really fun. And I think the problem, with Dead by Daylight is you play through the game, you either run the killer loads or you do loads of gens. Like, that's basically what it is. I personally have more fun, obviously, running the killer, but then it gets to the point where it's just frustrating because, you get left to die on hook or something like that, or you just get camped. You just put on this hostage situation where you literally can't play the game, and I just don't enjoy that. And, of course, like, you could sweat away your life playing Dead by Daylight and then just die at the end of it. It feels so unrewarding coming out of the game, coming off your gameplay session, just unrewarding because you didn't earn many blood points. It just happens to me so frequently now. And that's why I kind of stream this game only 4 hours now. I used to stream Dead by Daylight 6 hours a day. And I know this is an Evil Dead podcast, but it's sort of like a good way to express my overall comparisons and feelings about Dead by Daylight and Evil Dead, as to why I'm moving on to Evil Dead as well. So again, this is why I want to move on to Evil Dead, because there's just too many. You're playing against too many of the same play styles now, and like I said, I come off a gameplay session sometimes and I just feel like I've just played this game for 4 hours and I haven't really gotten anywhere. And it happens so frequently. It happens to everyone, especially survivor players, because they just don't progress. They get the perks they want on their specific characters. Dead by Daylight's a very competitive game when it's not competitive. And so, you kind of get in that whole competitive scene yourself, you sort of get a bit egotistical. I'm not gonna lie, I do get a bit egotistical when I play that game. And so when I die, I just become more frustrated. I get irritated that I've been tunneled out with the game or something. Like, to me, you know, if a game's ending in 5 minutes because I'm being tunneled by the new killer or something, that's just not fun. And so let's go back to Evil Dead. The Evil Dead side of things. Okay, so you've got deadites to literally kill. You know, you can do gory animations. You can help your team out by collecting tapes and doing all this other fun stuff. And if I die, I'm not going to be bothered on that game. You know, I'm literally going to be having such a fun time doing my objectives on that game versus Dead by Daylight. I think that's, you know, a really good reason to move away from Dead by Daylight is because of that. And, you know, going back to the talking about the Kandarian Demon, and I said, you know, like, killer looks really it's really unfun on Dead by Daylight. The Kandarian Demon just looks great to play as on Evil Dead. And so, you know, I just can't wait to play both sides on that game. And, you know, just completely spend all my time doing build videos and stuff like that, because to me, both sides look really fun, and they've really gone out of the way to kind of make both sides fun, because they want people to play as the demon as well. They were probably worried that people don't want to play the demon because, you know, like I said, on Dead by Daylight, it's kind of boring playing killer. I mean, we do have killer mains there. You can do different killer builds and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just hitting and chasing. Like, that's all it is. Like, I don't see much difference in gameplay every time I watch someone play killer, or if I play killer. Like, I'll play about 4 games of killer and I'll be done. Like, that'll be it. I'll be bored of that for now. Like, and then I probably won't play for another week. So again, like, Evil Dead has the variety there for me. It has the options to actually make the power role fun and the survivor role fun as well. And like I said, I'm not going to be caring if I don't get kills on Evil Dead, or if I die on Evil Dead. Like, I'm really not going to be bothered, because the gameplay just looks really fun on both sides. Okay, so now that we've discussed that topic about the whole Kandarian Demon gameplay that we got, you know, the graphics look amazing, and this, you know, the whole like environment changes with the weather and stuff looks absolutely amazing. I know it's only one big map, but it's going to be different probably each time that you play on it with the weather cycles and stuff like that. So, and there's also going to be 3 different demons to play against. So since we had the Kandarian Demon trailer, I don't know if I should say his name. Yeah, I'll just say it. As you know, Space Coconut made a video yesterday claiming that this game was a cash grab. And so this is another topic I kind of want to discuss in this podcast. Warning, this may get a bit, you know, full of swears and stuff. So I have a few points that I jotted down that he put in his video. You know, the guy suggested that you'll have 9 demons to choose from. You know, he's probably right. You know, I mean, you're going to have the 3 different teams. You'll have the Warlord, you'll have the Puppeteer, and you'll have the Necromancer. And you can see that there's 3, like, you know, they'll have the head demon, and then there's like 2 deadites next to them, basically. So, you know, that could be it. But from the gameplay I've seen of the survivor killing a deadite, I don't think there's just going to be 3 that you can literally put on the map. I think there's going to be a lot more deadites that you're going to be able to spawn, because, you know, if as fast as the survivor takes down a deadite, there's just no way, like, that there's only 3 that you can play as on the map, because, you know, obviously they're going to be able to respawn and spawn more deadites, but why would there only ever just be like 3 to choose from? To me, like, Henrietta would be the mastermind demon, and then you're going to have like all these different deadites to choose from. So that makes the most sense to me that there's not just 3 to play as, because, like I said, the game would be over in 5 minutes with how fast the other 2 deadites get taken out. But yeah, I mean, I kind of guess that's what he thinks, you know, like there's 9 demons to choose from, when I just kind of wanted to clarify that that's probably not what's going to happen, because from the gameplay we've seen, it just wouldn't make any sense. He also said that the game got announced 8 months ago at E3. We haven't had an E3 in 2 years, by the way. We've had a Summer Games Fest, which we did get a gameplay trailer on, but that's not when the game got announced. The game got announced in the Game Awards in 2020 in December. So I'm not, you know, I want to discredit someone when they can't be bothered to do their own research, which, again, you know, I feel like it does discredit them immediately, because they literally just can't be bothered to do the basic information or research the basic information about a game. He also asks how, if there will be a progression system. We've already had this information given out as well. I can't remember if he said it in an interview, Tim Willits, but he said, I think he said you can progress somewhere. There's going to be skill tree mechanics, like that has been announced, that has been confirmed. You can also see on the Kandarian Demon screenshot that it says show skills. So again, you're going to be able to put different skills on your characters. This has kind of already been established. People just are too lazy and probably just don't want to look at the information that they've been provided. Or, it literally takes, 2 seconds just to pause a video and just look at through the different information that is given to us, basically. He also asked, how will new characters be accessed? Well, we've had 4 DLCs planned, so I imagine new characters will be added through the DLCs. As far as, unlocking characters in the game, I'm not 100% sure because, you could start the game off with just Ash, Pablo, Kelly, and Cheryl as like the main 4, and then, you can unlock a new leader, which would be like King Arthur. You could unlock a tank character like Henry the Red. There could be, different options to explore there. And, you could unlock a new hunter like Amanda. So, most games don't have to give this information out. I mean, I'm not asking them to give this information out. I kind of want to go into the game with a surprise of, how do I unlock characters, or if they're all going to be given to me when I launch the game. I mean, me personally, I don't want to have all the characters I wouldn't be bothered, but at the same time, I kind of want to have characters to unlock and, to make it so that I have the progression there, that I'm not just, loading a game up and having a character unlocked straight away. I mean, if they do that, then that's fair. That's literally fair. Maybe they all say that, they're all playable at release, and that's fine. I really couldn't care less if they did that. But again, I'm just saying it would be a nice thing that you can progress towards to unlock King Arthur as a new leader or something, And of course, you have like Hunter Ash as well on top of that. He also asked the question if, we can have like multiple of the same character in a match. From my point of view and my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen. It could, but I just don't think it can. You have your 4 classes. You have your leader, you have your hunter, you have your support, and you have your healer. I think that was the 4 classes. I'm not 100% sure what was actually stated in the interview, because I forget. I watched the interview a while ago. So to me, that kind of doesn't make sense to have like 4 old Ashes in the game that are just leaders, because you're gonna have 4 leaders then. Why would that make any sense to have in the game? Maybe you can do it, but you're probably just gonna get wiped off the demon because you're not going to have a healer or something. Now, if we can play old Ash and play as a different class on him, then that would be great. Again, we haven't had this information given to us, and there's probably a reason why we haven't had it yet. But they've got 2 months before the game comes out. We'll see it soon enough. So yeah, I mean, he's asking a good question there, but at the same time, it's not really an immediate question is to answer if the game's a cash grab or not. It's not really a thing that you'd put into that type of video, in my opinion. Moving on though, he also asked what the objectives for the players were. Again, about 3 minutes before in his video, he stated what the objectives were. So he was kind of answering his own question 3 minutes before in his video. He literally went over what the survivors gameplay was, what their objectives were, and he also stated about the fear mechanic being a thing about the Kandarian Demon. He kind of answered his own question. We don't know the in-depth thing about objectives, but we have the gist of it, of what we're going to be doing when we play the game. Again, this is just not another great argument to bring up in a game in a video about a game being a cash grab. It's just not a great argument to make, So, moving on. He also claimed that the game got delayed twice to polish it, and I'm kind of annoyed that the game got delayed twice. Of course, I'm an Evil Dead fan. I've been waiting for some variety to play, instead of Dead by Daylight all the time for a while now, and so I was very disappointed that the game got delayed the first time, but it wasn't to polish the game. The game got delayed the first time to add single player. Again, this is just basic research and basic knowledge about the game. And to me, it just kind of seems like the person making the video is literally just, probably, he's saying cash grab. But, in my opinion, that's just a clickbait video. because most of the opinions that he did have some good questions, which was fair enough. It's stuff that will get answered in time. But the questions that he was asking were just not solid arguments to say the game was a cash grab, if that makes sense, So again, he said the game got delayed twice just to polish it, and again, that wasn't a fact. Of course, it got delayed to add single player, and of course, why would they delay a game to add single player that we all asked for? I mean, I didn't ask for it, but a majority of the player base asked for a single player option. So they went, okay, we're going to delay the game. We'll add the single player option for everyone. If they were looking to make this game a cash grab, they wouldn't have bothered doing that. They wouldn't have bothered delaying it for the second time to actually polish the game up, which is what they did. So again, I don't know why they were, bringing this up as an argument for a cash grab. And we'll just go back to the whole single player thing, and why would they delay the game? Like, because of a single player, like they added a single player option. Okay, so this is the alternate scenario. What they could have done if this was going to be a cash grab game, this is what they would have done. Which is obviously what they didn't do. They could have released the game last June. I think it had a June release date, actually, 15th of June. It got leaked on Xbox Store. A lot of people speculated that would be out in October on the 40th anniversary. Again, that could have been another potential release date. Either way, it could have come out earlier last year or like late last year. So if they were going to go a cash grab, they could have released it then. They could have not bothered getting the original cast involved in the game, because why bother? If the game's just a cash grab. A lot of the time, if they do cash grab games, they would literally just throw a generic voice cast in there. They'd slap, whatever franchise logos on it. The game will be unfinished or whatever, and then they just throw it out. To me, that would be a cash grab. Now, saying this game is a cash grab is a load of bullshit, because they got the original voice cast back. They've delayed it twice and listened to the community for stuff that they've asked for, which they've implemented into the game. They also currently just keep polishing the game to make sure it's nice and, a big, huge game coming out, and, it's working correctly. So, again, I don't see how this is a cash grab. Maybe they're seeing it from the point of view where it's like they've done pre-orders, but they haven't given us all the information that we want. Again, people, I think, are just being a bit entitled. The game is out in 2 months' time. Yeah, we don't have extended gameplay footage, but we have a lot of information given to us that we need to know about the game, like enough to probably buy it, in my opinion. So again, it's kind of a weak argument to say. I mean, you're just totally discrediting your arguments and opinions when you can't even be bothered to do basic research about why a game got fucking delayed, And again, I'm just going to move on about this whole delaying thing and, cash grab material. Trying to compare the game to Cyberpunk is the worst thing I've ever seen. So the only he decided he only wanted to compare it because of the scripted gameplay captures. Okay, so the reason why we've had these short gameplay reveals or whatever is, we've had Bruce Campbell doing the voiceover, and Bruce ain't cheap. He's the icon behind the game. He's iconic, he's the iconic horror guy. He's not going to be cheap to do these voiceovers, and they wanted to make it short and sweet for the fans. They want it to feel like, Bruce is involved in the game. I don't know if he's trying to understand what I'm getting at here. I hope he's understanding. But, when it's an Evil Dead franchise being made around a game, it's they want it to feel authentic. They want, this is Ash, Ash is back. We've got Bruce Campbell here. We want to do trailers based around that, which is what they did. They give us short and sweet gameplay. So it's kind of weird comparing it to Cyberpunk of all games. You cannot make that comparison. You cannot literally compare this game to other shady business practices from other devs, because they don't develop this game. They're not developing this game. Saber didn't go over the fucking Cyberpunk or CD Projekt Red, whatever they're called, and just be like, oh, we're gonna copy them. We're gonna do what they did. Yeah, let's do that. You know what they did? CD Projekt Red were literally gutted about how bad Cyberpunk was. They come out and apologize numerous amount of times. I personally played through Cyberpunk last week, and I actually had a lot of fun. I paid half price for it, and there's still bugs in the game. It's not flawless, but it looks amazing on the Series X. Like, don't take it away from that. They've done the game probably should have been delayed another year, but in my opinion, I think the game is pretty solid right now. It has a good storyline. Like, it was worth the £25 I spent on it. And so going back to when the game actually released, stating that it was a cash grab, okay, it may have been, but if it was a cash grab, they wouldn't have offered everyone a refund for the game, which is what they did. And they probably lost a lot of the money that they actually earned by giving out the refunds for it. And, it got taken out. I think it got taken off the PlayStation Store and everything. Again, I think a lot of the whole development, game developers and stuff probably would have looked at that as a learning, or like as a lesson to be learned of how not to really bring a game out. Of course, EA still did it with Battlefield last year and stuff. But again, you can't just make the comparison because it's not the same development team. The only game you can compare this game to right now is World War Z, because that is by the same devs. Do you know what I mean? You can't go out and just start comparing it to other shady business practices and stuff like that, because at the end of the day, it's not the same dev team. It's not the same people behind the game. It's, this is Saber we're on about. World War Z released, it was such a steady launch. I remember playing the game at launch day. It was so much fun. It had its odd bugs, yeah. Like, every game has its odd bugs because they can't test everything. They can't test every system, how this system's gonna work with this system, they can't do everything. And again, that's probably why Evil Dead would benefit from a beta as well, because I feel like, once we have the cross-play implemented, we need to test it. How is it going to work with Xbox and PlayStation? What's the latency like between that? It would be nice for them to do that. And, they still potentially could give us a beta. Don't get me wrong, I think that's still an option. But, going back to World War Z, the game had a solid launch. Like, again, it only had a few bugs that I noticed when I first played through it. The game won Game of the Year. It released on Epic Game Store as an exclusive, for the first year. The game's doing really well. I mean, it's still getting updated to this day. And, this is a game that really didn't require any, longevity updates. We didn't ask, like, World War Z could have got, like, released as that game, and that was it. But the devs decided, we're just going to keep going with this. We have a lot of players, so we're going to start adding DLCs, which is what they did. And I don't really think many people asked for them to add DLCs, but they added Horde mode later down the line. They added all this good stuff when they really didn't have to. And so, I think the game's in the correct hands here, because if you look at how World War Z was treated, like, this game's going to get the same treatment. It's already got DLCs planned. It's already got, like, maybe we'll start getting roadmaps for things, like, you have actual fans of the franchise behind this game. I don't think if, you're basically saying, like, you've got me as a developer right now making this game. I mean, just say I was the developer, the lead developer of this game. Would you buy it? Someone who's a huge Evil Dead fan, I'm a fucking Ashman on Dead by Daylight. I've got loads of Evil Dead, memorabilia and stuff that I've collected. Like, I pretty much know the ins and outs of the entire franchise. So just say you had me developing the game for Evil Dead. Would you buy it? Would you be happy to buy that? Because I would do it justice. And that is exactly who's in charge at Saber right now behind this game, was Tim Willits, who has drawn all his inspiration for his games literally from Evil Dead. And now he's making his own Evil Dead game. And, he's going to do it right. Like, you've got to have faith that they're going to do it right. Just comparing it to Cyberpunk is kind of a lot of bullshit, if you ask me. So he says the gameplay is, still going through this guy's video. He says the gameplay is being hidden. Yet we've had 2 gameplay trailers showing gameplay already. Again, I think we've already sort of discussed this. They made it short and sweet about the scripted gameplay captures. We've, like I said, we've had 3 gameplay trailers now. We've had the Kandarian Demon one. We've had the original reveal trailer, which was pre-alpha footage, I do believe. And we also had just the general gameplay reveal that we had at Summer Games Fest last year. So we've already had the short and sweet gameplay footage. And I would say the reason we haven't had, people are asking for longer gameplay and stuff. So I'm just going to give you guys a plausible reason why they haven't done that. The reason is this game is still being play tested. Tim Willits literally tweeted out on the same day I think the Demon trailer come out. And he said that, one of the devs is really good at being a Kandarian Demon. So the game is still being play tested right now. And, as a dev, I don't want to push out a long gameplay footage of an entire game playing out. Yeah, it's coming out in 2 months' time, but they could be still balancing things up until a month. They don't want to make false promises, do you know what I mean? Like, the game could be playing completely different from what it was a month ago. They could be changing weapon balancing, they could be changing the Kandarian Demon balancing. Again, if we just keep asking, they'll probably give us it eventually. But, you've got to understand with games like this, it requires a lot of balancing and tweaking. And they'll probably just wait until the last minute before they decide, right, let's finally put something out there. We're happy with where the game is in terms of balancing and mechanics and stuff. Let's put the game out there. Let's see what people say. That's going to happen relatively soon. But if they're still playtesting the game, which they were the other day, then they're not going to be putting out fully fledged gameplay footage because, like I said, games are going to start playing out differently to what they were a month ago. And, maybe this time next month, the game will be completely different to what if we had seen this time. So the game, they don't want to make false promises for people. They don't want us to say, oh, this is how a game's going to play out. Oh, this looks too OP, that looks too OP, blah, blah, blah. And then, we buy the game and it's a completely different, scenario and stuff, how it's being played out. So again, I think that's a good enough reason why we haven't had gameplay footage again. My throat is killing me now. I've been talking for so long. We're nearly through at the end of this. So moving on to his next point, he said it's probably another nostalgia-driven cash grab with no longevity like The Predator. And so this was like 7 minutes into his 9-minute video that he said this, and I didn't want to watch the last 2 minutes after he said it, because as soon as someone makes this comparison to this game, I literally just fucking click off, or I start typing a long ass paragraph as to why you cannot compare the fucking Predator game to this game. Why are people literally comparing that dog shit game to this game? I have absolutely no idea. It's not made by the same devs. They did the cash grab. They did the cash grab fucking plot. They really did. They literally went, right, let's get a generic voice cast, which is what they did. They got a YouTube channel to voice cast the fucking game. Again, already a red flag. The graphics look like absolute dog shit. Luckily, they did a beta, so I didn't have to buy the shitty game before I played it. And, it was released by a little minimal fucking studio that, I've never even heard of. So, I think it was Ilphonic, right? I think it was Ilphonic that did it. I don't know if they worked towards Friday the 13th or not. Maybe they did. I think maybe the head person worked on Friday the 13th at that place. Either way, that is literally the cash grab 101 right there. In my opinion, you're not even buying a proper YouTube cast. They're not even buying a proper voice cast, sorry. You're just getting a YouTube channel to doing it. You're literally slapping a Predator logo on an unfinished game. Because I played it, by the way, the fucking graphics were terrible. The shooting mechanic was the most clunkiest shit I've ever fucking played. So, again, you cannot make this comparison with Evil Dead. Because, like I said, the only fair comparison you can ever make is World War Z, that is made by the same devs. And from what I've seen in certain gameplay, it sort of looks similar to World War Z with, the shooting mechanics and stuff. It just looks like sort of upgraded in graphics, and, it looks a lot smoother and, things like that. So, again, drawing the comparison to Predator, you just need to shut the fuck up right now. Just don't do it. Okay, you're just making yourself look like a fucking idiot. Please, just stop. Just everyone stop making this comparison. His last statement that he made, he said the game got delayed because of other popular titles being released in February. Again, this is not the reason. This is not the reason why it got delayed. Okay, and if it was, it's definitely not a correct one, because I think, you know, Saber know that we're Evil Dead fans, okay? They know they have the fan base there of people that's gonna buy this game regardless if it releases next to fucking Elden Ring or Destiny 2. I'm sorry, right? But if I'm an Evil Dead fan, you know, and I want to play Elden Ring, I'll be buying both fucking games. Like, straight up, people will be doing that. It's not like you are putting, you know, a fucking $50 game against a $50 game or whatever. Well, I'll just, you know, I think Evil Dead's $40, Elden Ring's $60 or something, right? You know, that's £100 or $100 right there. You know, I think people would still buy that regardless, or, you know, they'll decide to buy Elden Ring at a later time or buy Evil Dead at a later time. Again, they're still going to get the sales regardless. Maybe it's not the launch sales that, you know, they would probably want, but it'll still happen because they know they have the fan base there of people buying the game. So, saying the game got delayed because of other games, again, is just such a weird fucking argument to make about a game being a cash grab. You know, it probably costs them more money to delay a game than it does releasing it earlier, because they've got to spend a lot more time, you know, paying the whole development team and, you know, designing new things, blah, blah, blah. You know, they've got to do a lot more stuff. So they got to pump more cash into the game. And instead, you know, of waiting, polishing the game out, and instead of literally pushing the game out unfinished or, you know, stuff like that, you know, they've got to spend more money literally delaying a game. So why would you think that they were worried about sales? You know, they didn't worry about that at all, because we had enough people probably hyped up for the game and ready to buy it. They literally delayed it to polish it more, to make sure it's a nice, you know, fully cooked project at the end of it. Again, just another pointless argument to me making that the game's a cash grab, and people just really need to shut the fuck up. They really do. Unless you have credible information and you're bothered to actually do your own fucking research and stuff like that about the game, then you can start having an opinion. But when you can't even get the basics, you know, research down, that the game's actually going to include a skill tree and that the game was actually announced over a year ago, then pretty much every other information that you given in a video will literally just be discredited immediately by me, because again, it's just not making any sense. A Cyberpunk comparison doesn't make any sense. A Predator Hunting Grounds comparison doesn't make any fucking sense. So stop making these rant videos about the game, about shady business practices and fucking speculative comments and things like that, because, you know, the only opinion you can give about this game is what the facts are right now, which is it's made by a good development team, and, you know, it's Evil Dead. Those are the two facts that you should care about right now. And, you know, OG voice casts coming back. You got Sam Raimi that's been brought in on the game to actually, you know, develop the game's lore a lot. And, you know, people can bitch and moan if they want their single player campaign or whatever. You know, that's just always going to be there. Most people now, if they put, oh, I'm not buying this game because it's single player, I literally just fucking, you know, send them a gift saying looking for who cares, because, you know, who cares? I'm still going to have fun buying this game and playing this game when it comes out. I'm going to be buying all the cosmetics and shit. Like, I'm just going to love playing this game when it comes out, and I really can't wait. And like I said, I also had like another YouTuber remove his video because he was shouting angrily at the screen about the game, and most of his facts were just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he was literally screen recording himself looking at the pre-order bonuses and stuff and just shouting about it. I really don't understand what goes into a mentality to make a video like that. And it's clear to me that some people have just very limited brain capacities, because they can't even be bothered to do a 5-minute research about a game and then claim that it's a cash grab, or like a rip-off, basically. And again, it's just complete and utter bullshit, you know, claiming like an Ultimate Collector's Edition that contains $120 Necronomicon, made by the same studio, by the way, Trick or Treat Studios, that's making that. Like, how is that ever going to be a fucking cash grab Ultimate Collector's Edition when they've got literally $120 fucking prop in there already? So, again, I think people's opinions about this game are very speculative and questionable, because I think they're just talking complete and utter bullshit. And I don't want to get into the whole Steam Epic Games debate again, because, you know, I've ranted about that forever. So, and I'm already, you know, my throat's already fucked. I've been talking for like 40 minutes straight now. Well, actually over an hour, because I did a video beforehand that I wasn't satisfied with. So I thought I'd do this again. You know, I'd take it into a podcast form where, you know, you guys can listen to while you're playing games or something like that, whilst, you know, you have me on in the background discussing topics about Evil Dead. You know, I kind of enjoy doing these podcast type of things, and I hope I can do more in the future, especially around Evil Dead. You know, discussing the news topics about it, and, you know, the new releases and things. So, you know, if you like these type of form of content, hit that like button. You know, it helps me out. It lets me know if you guys actually enjoy, you know, listening and talk and watching stuff like this. Sorry. I think this time around I'll probably just put some gameplay up of Evil Dead. You know, probably just, you know, we don't have a lot of gameplay. Oh no, how could they? They haven't given us loads of gameplay yet. But, you know, people are probably just going to be getting early access to the gameplay and stuff. And anyways, like, you know, in a month's time, you're going to get a lot of information about this game, and then you can decide if you want to pre-order it or not. I think people are just being untitled. I think people are just being entitled, and, you know, they're being really impatient. just wait a bit longer, man. Like, I know the game's been delayed twice. Like, we'll see something. You don't have to just keep ranting about it, like, and being angry at the... about it all, you know, and making clickbait videos about, you know, if the game's a cash grab and you can't even be bothered to do your own fucking research correctly. So, yeah, like I said, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions, also feel free to leave me a comment. Like I said, go check my other Evil Dead videos out. I've got quite a few. You know, I discuss, like, you know, five reasons why you should be hyped for Evil Dead. You know, I go over trailer breakdowns and stuff like that. So, you know, I've got a lot of Evil Dead content on my channel already, and I kind of just can't wait to start pumping out even more when it comes out. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it to the end, you're an absolute legend. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a sub as well if you are new, and I will be covering so much Evil Dead stuff. Like, you're gonna be sick of me by the end of this year. You really are, with all my Evil Dead content. I'm just so excited for the game. I really can't wait, you know, just to finally sit and stream it, play with everyone in the community around it, and, you know, hopefully I can, you know, sort of be up there for the devs to listen to as well, so I can be a voice for you guys for the game as well. So, you know, it's exciting times. You know, there's lots going to be happening in the next few months that I really can't wait to get around to. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a sub. If you're new to the channel, if you're interested, I do a lot of Dead by Daylight content right now. I'm also looking to branch out to other games until Evil Dead drops. So, you know, feel free, you know, if you like to listen to my voice, which a lot of people do for some reason. I personally hate it. I really hate editing videos. You know, feel free to hit that sub button, and you'll get notified when I go live and stuff like that. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Pixels, you're my awesome viewers, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.